Good afternoon, everybody. It's June 21st, 2025. We are in Williamsville, Illinois, and I wanted to show you this real quick. Take a look at that. Now, take a look at this little sign right there. We are at a Texaco station in Williamsville, and I'll give you the exact address in just a moment. Look at these gas pumps. Available. Anyway, we are on the corner of what appears to be Flag Street and trying to find the other side here. So we're in Williamsville. I know we've been here once before. Okay. That got all stripped off. It's Elm and Flag Street. Okay? And we're going to show you this other little sign over here in just a minute, but the real reason why we are here, I want you to check out this old car. Take a look at that thing. If you guys can identify this car, leave it in the comment section down here below. But we have come here because we're going to show you the first of 12 Route 66 signs that were installed last year. And if it hadn't been for Visit Springfield, I would have never known about them. I will give you partial credit to Visit Springfield, and the reason I'm going to do that is because they did give me a vague idea where these signs were. I wish they had been a little more specific, but we take what we get, okay? But for you guys, I'm going to show you exactly what's going on here, alright? So I'm going to read this to you in just a second. I would like for you to stay tuned. Good afternoon, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner. We are still in Williamsville, Illinois, and I'm going to videotape this right here, right now. I know you just saw that other thing in a second, and I'll tell you about that in a second, but why don't you take a look at this? Look at this. Wow! Now, originally I came here to help you to help you guys find Route 66 signs, okay? But apparently the Looking for Lincoln Heritage Coalition has erected some more Wayside markers that I didn't know a thing about. And believe it or not, this happens to be one of them. This is not on any map. Okay, they never told any of us about this one. So, you're going to get a special treat today because you're going to get one of these. And let me take a look at the back of this thing, see if it's double-sided. No, it is not double-sided. Okay, so since we didn't know this thing even existed, I'm glad I came down here. I'm going to read this to you in just a second, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. Now, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but this little trail right here will take you to the Rail Golf Course here in Springfield, Illinois. Now, if you go right over here, you're going to be going to a place called Carpenter Park, okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because we just came from Williamsville, and that Looking for Lincoln sign was at the Williamsville Library and Museum thing they've got over there. But this is what we're looking for right here. They are not precise on the location of this thing. They're approximate but not precise. And I wanted to show you this because next year Route 66 is going to turn 100 years old, and they're going to have a great big smashing party in downtown Springfield. And if you guys come down here for that party, you might as well come to these signs and take a look at them. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you in just a second, so I want you to stay tuned. Now, this is the actual Route 66 pavement that they have managed to save. As you can see, it would have gone a little bit further that way, and I believe if you went behind me, you'd probably see a little more of it. I don't know, but anyway, this is what it is, and as you can see, this is actually a golf course. This is the Rails Golf Course, as you can plainly see, and there you go. Alrighty, I will tell you more in just a bit, so stay tuned. Okay, folks, We're still in Carpenter Park, and I'll show you that in a second, but I wanted you to check this out. And I wanted to really give a thank you to Visit Springfield. They kind of gave me a good idea where this thing was, and then I was able to find it from here. What they'll tell you is that you're just south of the Rails Golf Club. Or it's not really a golf club, it's a golf course. And I'll show you Carpenter Park in a second. But anyway, this road right here is an actual segment of Route 66. It ran through here from 1926 to 1936. And you can see how it runs. And this goes all the way back that way. They say that at some point they're supposed to open all this up, but I don't know when that will be. When it does, come on down and check it out. But anyway, just to show you, this is indeed Carpenter Park. And there's a whole bunch of hiking trails that we're not going to go on today. Okay, I got a lot of things to do and I don't have time to do that. But if you start going down through here, there's a whole bunch of nature trails, and it is beautiful down here. It really is. So come on down, take a look, and we'll tell you more in just a minute. So I want you to stay tuned. Good afternoon, everybody. It's once again Ted the Speed Learner. We're in the Illinois State Fairgrounds, and if you're not here during the Illinois State Fair, you're going to have to come through Gate 11 of the Illinois State Fairgrounds to get to this. Okay, I know this is at Gate 2, but you have to come through Gate 11 to come here. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But anyway, this is the official entrance of the Illinois State Fairgrounds Route 66 experience. There is also a Route 66 Wayside marker in here, and behind me there's going to be yet another Route 66 sign. So hang in there, folks. I'm going to show you all this. This is something you definitely want to come here and see. Now there's a bunch of these sign things over here. I'm going to pause briefly, and if you want to pause the video and read these things for yourself, you are more than welcome to. Now I will not be able to get the whole experience out here. There's just no way. Okay? But I'm going to try to get as much as I possibly can. You can sit on this little bench over here, which I would not recommend because after all, right now it is 100+ degrees. Oh boy, this actual movie theater, I can't show it to you, but it's actually playing as a replica of a drive-in, and it actually shows you movies and stuff. Can you believe that? Now these are old Burma Shave signs, okay? Believe it or not. It says, big mistake. Then you go to the next sign, and these would have been found on Route 66 way back in the day. It says, many make, rely on the horn, instead of the brake. And then of course you'd have the advertisement for Burma Shave. Okay, now this, I'm going to back this up just a minute. This is a grain elevator. This is something you would probably would see on your Route 66 experience. And as you can see, there's a whole big sign right up here that shows you the various destinations you'd want to go. Okay, now we're going to go in here real quick. I'm going to show you the inside of this as much as I possibly can, because I tell you, there's just too much here. Okay, I just can't tell you. Look at the ceiling over here. We got a ceiling fan. It says welcome Route 66 up here. You can see that. Okay, this print is just too big. It says take the driver's seat to experience the legends and landmarks of Route 66 in Springfield with this unique self-guided tour. Come grab the complimentary Explorer Passport to begin your journey. Visit at 1 South Old State Capitol Plaza, Springfield, Illinois 62701. And there's a bunch of pictures here. If you want to pause and take a look, well, I guess I can come up a little bit closer to some of the, or I'll try to do the best I can. That way you can read the print. There's so much of this in here. My recommendation, if it's time for the Illinois State Fair, I highly recommend that you come up here and take a look at this. If it's not time for the Illinois State Fair, I would highly recommend that you go through Gate 11 and come up here anyway. Now it looks like the giant slide is here at Gate 2 as well, so we'll be visiting that in a second. Alright, now we're going to come back over here, and we're going to go, now, it says right on here, Route 66 Drive-In Theater, and then you can see a chart here. You might have to pause the video for this. It tells you where everything's at. Then you come in here. I'm going to try to get as much of this as possible. You may have to pause the video several times to get all this. This is a lot, folks. And I wouldn't blame anybody for coming back over here and adding to this video. If any of you come over here and videotape any of this, please leave me the links to your videos so I can promote them, because I'd like for people to see all this. It's just amazing in here. I'm trying to get as much of this as I possibly can, but I'm not going to get it all, and I guarantee you I won't. This is a map right across here. Like I said, you're just going to have to come over here and take a look. There's no way I can get all this. There's just none. Okay, now let's see. Okay, let's continue on. This can be found in Wilmington, however they have moved it since the last time I was there. You can see you got Elwood at 154 miles, Shanoan 151, Wilmington 144, Diamond, Braywood, Godley, Braceville, Gardner, and Dwight. Some of these towns I've actually been through and videotaped the signs. Again, just lots and lots of signs. And I'm going to encourage, I know a guy, he used to run a YouTube channel called Adam's Life. Now he runs a channel called Two Dudes Review. I really hope he comes over here and videotapes a bunch of this, because it's just too much for me to videotape, and it's really not my primary reason for coming over here today. I mean, I'm glad to videotape all this, but this is not the primary reason. Okay? Keep them flying. Buy U.S. War savings bonds and stamps. Ask your bank or post office today. It says there's a Best Western at 23 miles. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you this little buggy right here. And like I said, there's just a lot here. You would not believe how much is here. Take a look at these signs. Look at this. It's well worth the trip over here. I promise you, it really is. Look at this. I'm sure you saw similar billboards and murals over there in Pontiac when I videotaped over there. I'm not really sure what this is. Looks like it might be it's a couple gas station pumps. Well, isn't that just fun? Look at that. Look at that. Now some people gloss over this stuff. I try and do my best not to gloss over it. You can see this little pavilion thing, and look at all this. Look at all this. Here's another buggy. Look at that. Okay, now we're going to go over here. Okay. Go ahead and pause the video to read that. Look at all this. There's a map legend. Like I say, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. You think you're going to be able to take a look at this in depth in one day? Boy, are you in for a shock and a surprise. You guys just have to come down here. That's all there is. Well, this first one here says, if you don't know how, if you don't know here, whose signs these are, you haven't driven very far. And again, it says Burma Shave. Now we have Arnold's Hamburgers. And then back here, I had to walk past this to show you all this. Made in America, land of the free. Alright, I'm going to pause this for just a second, so stay tuned. Here we go again. I will enter this building in just a second. Do you remember this muffler man with his Oscar Mayer wiener? It was over there in Atlanta, Illinois. There you go. Alright, now I'm going to show you this. Look at this sign. Look at this. You think you're going to see that every day? Oh, heck no. This has been done up very nice. I cannot tell you how nice this has been done up. Okay. Let's go back over here. Oh, and look at this sign. Look at this sign. And then they have something similar to this. I think it's either in Dwight or it could be Wilmington or wherever it is. Let me know, and I'll put it in the notes down here. You can see this. This is the kind of thing you're looking for if you're a tourist. I'm not kidding you. Okay, we're gonna go back over here. Let's go through this. We were at the Dixie truck stop not that many years ago, and you can spend the entire day taking pictures out here. That is not a joke, folks. If you guys don't come out here, you're going to be real sorry. That's all there is to it. Man, you can't say you didn't see this. It's just too beautiful. Got about 4 more of these. Look at this. Aren't you glad I came over here today? We're at here. And then Okay. Let's go back in here. See, there's little benches for you to sit on. Look at that. Sad thing is that when people, some of these people that come through here, and it's not everybody, but there are people that come through here, they give a quick, brief glance, and then they just kind of leave you hanging. I'm not going to do that to you guys. Look at all this. Okay, let's continue on. Photo spot, Legends Neon Park, Illinois 66. Route 66, Legends Neon Park. And you can see one sign after the next, after the next. Yeah, hang on. Here's your Wrigley Spearmint Chewing Gum. Okay. Now, let's go through some more of these. It says, it would be more fun to go by air if we could put these signs up there. And again, you have Burma Shave. Alright. Look at this. Now I know I just walked around a building. I'll show you some of this. Look at this stuff, folks. You could spend half your time, and this is no joke, in Springfield at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, look at all this stuff, and you may have to take a trip back. That's how much there is. Okay? Alright. Now each one of these great big billboard signs here has a little description of each and every one of them. There's that one. There's that one. I know by now you're probably very exhausted. Think of how I feel. It's June 21st of 2025, and it's practically 100 degrees out here. It says, relive the journey, experience the legends, Illinois Route 66. Alright, let's go over here. Got one more little thing to show you here. There you go. If you like this presentation, leave me a nice comment in the comments section below. I would really appreciate it. And I have to say that a lot of these places, not all of them, but a lot of these places still exist to this very day. So I really highly recommend that if you really want an adventure, Come check this out. Now, I'm not really sure, and you'll have to consult your maps, but I'm going to show you something in just a second. And there's a similar type of thing that you'll find, believe it or not, in Oklahoma. And instead of being the shape of one of these muffler men, it's in the shape of a soda bottle. This is probably the first time you've gotten something really close up like this. And I'm kind of glad to have done this for you. Now I gotta really stand back for this one. This has gotta be... Not sure how far back I'm gonna have to go with this. Gotta be real careful. I don't want to trip and fall. Look at that! Now you can actually place your ad here. This is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. You got your Chicago Motor Club here. And look at these flowers. These are beautiful flowers, folks. And then you got Stuckey's. And I got all the gas mileage you can deliver at Mobile Gas. You got Coca-Cola over here. And a sign that says Route 66 Road Trip over here. Shays. And I know we've already been through this, but okay, let's continue on. I'm going to pause just a second here. You can pause the video and read this if you'd like. Okay. And I may come back here someday, if I'm really well persuaded to do so, and take a ton of pictures. You really need to see this. This would be the Chain of Rocks Bridge, or an incredible simulation. I wanted to tell you guys that when I took that trip down all the way to Hamel, Illinois, I was going to go across the Chain of Rocks Bridge, but I ran into a little bit of a problem. The problem was that the road that was going to take us down to Edwardsville and then finally on into Chain of Rocks Bridge, they were all flooded. That's why I didn't get a chance to do it. But the main reason I'm here today is because Route 66, this whole thing, has one of these. And there are 3 of these in the state fairgrounds. I'm going to show you the locations of each and every one of them. Okay, I'm going to read this to you in just a second, so I'd like for you to stay tuned. All of these bricks have names on them, and you should check them out. I'll let you check that out on your own. And then historic U.S. Illinois Route 66 right here. Alright, in a couple of minutes I'm going to show you the other 2 signs right here at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, so I want you to stay tuned. Anybody that has ever been to the Illinois State Fair knows what this thing is. This is the Sky Glide, and it takes you across the fairgrounds, especially during the Illinois State Fair. But we're not here for that. Nope. We're here for this. That's right, folks. If you go to the Route 66 Scenic Byway exhibit, you're going to find this, and then over there is the giant slide, and there's a sign just like this over there. I'll read both of those to you in just a second, so stay tuned. Good afternoon, everybody. It's once again Ted the Speed Learner. We are at the giant slide here in Springfield, Illinois, and look what we have found. Another Route 66 Wayside marker. I'm gonna read this to you in just a second, so stay tuned. Good afternoon, everybody. It's once again Ted the Speed Learner. We are at Shays gas station. I'm gonna videotape these. Okay. And we're on the corner of Percy and Peoria Road. I'm going to let you take a look at this real quick. Now I'm going to oh, look at the old car back there. Now let's come back over here. This way. Look at the old car. And guess what we have found? Another Route 66 Scenic Byway Coalition Wayside marker. And this one looks like it has a button just like the other one did. I will read this to you in just a second, so stay. Alright. You can take a look at here. I don't know if we'll get a good view. Maybe you can see some of this. It's hard to tell. Anyway, in the comments down below, if you click this QR code, let me know what you find. Alright, I'll tell you more in just a minute, so stay tuned. We are at another historic gas station in Springfield, Illinois, and I'm going to tell you about this in just a minute. It says, just off Route 66, sandwiches and souvenirs. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you, not exactly sure where I'm at. They don't have any street signs here. Oh yes, they do. Haha, we're in business now. Sorry, I'm not familiar with this place. We are on the corner of 8th Street and Cook Street. Okay, 8th and Cook. And then right over here is this little beauty right here. And by gollies, it has a button too. I'm going to videotape this sign for you. I'm going to read it to you in just a second, so I want you to stay tuned.